spent most of my life blaming God for the things that happened in my life, my shortcomings, the events that happened in my life. So I had a lot. I had a lot of misery and despair that I was chasing after. But it wasn't until I was introduced to RP and then introduced to Jesus and Christianity that I started feeling a little bit happier. And I believe it was maybe 2017 when I first got baptized, and renewed my faith with Jesus and whatnot. But I thought everything was uplifted, like all the misery and despair. But eventually, I guess I had a lot of mentally struggling things going on that I wasn't aware about. And slowly I started falling back into misery, down spiraling, down to darkness. And I fell back into my addiction all over again. Addiction is real. I believe myself as it's the higher power still. And it was even all the way to the point where I couldn't feed myself, I couldn't bathe myself, I couldn't walk. I was crippled in the streets, crawling around. And finally, like, I couldn't move no more. And this lady just finally called hospital, and the ambulance came and picked me up. But even when I was still struggling in the hospital where I couldn't feed myself, I was very violent and still, in darkness where I wanted to kill everybody and myself. But eventually, as time passed, I was in a hospital for 2 months. I started, having time to sit there and relate to everything that's going on, actually reflecting on my life itself. I eventually knew that I began to have a willingness to want help and want to live again. I no longer just want to survive, I wanted to live now. I started reaching out to Pastor Bumble, Don, and Hui for help. And when I was in the hospital, Bumble and Don and Hui would come and visit me, bring food to me. And there's some things I forgot as well. Even through my addiction, they never stopped staying in contact with me and try to bring me back to the Word of God. But I think all of that, they planted a seed in my life that eventually grew, and what gave me the willingness to want to redeem myself in the hospital. And once I got into rehab, I started seeing the light of how I was acting and my behavior. I started seeking out God more, and I started doing these morning Bible studies with my peers in this rehab. After I graduated rehab, I was able to understand and learn about my behavior and my mental conditions. And I graduated rehab, and I was able to start attending church again, once again with Redemption Point. And this time around, it's actually really different. I'm not holding anything back. When it comes to my recovery and when it comes to God, I don't have no reservations. I just have, I guess it's really hard to say. It's even hard for me to comprehend, but I have a new feeling in my life. The emptiness void that I had in my life is now filled by God, and that was something I was chasing through my addiction, which I could never feel. Now I have a sense of fulfillment in my life that I don't need nothing else to fulfill it, whether it's material, whatever it is. I have God that fills me spiritually. Today I am clean, a total of 16 months off drugs and alcohol. And I'm also clean off cigarettes for almost 6 months now. What RP gives me is they help give me a tool to work my daily life and daily maintenance, as well as work my recovery program and help others. So I'm able to bring the message to friends and peers and people who are struggling with the same addiction as well. And I feel like God gave me a new purpose in life. He gave me a testimony I could share and relate with other people. This day, what keeps me going is daily gratitude. I'm grateful for everything that's been in my life, support of RP, and the things I took for granted, now I take advantage of, because I almost lost it. Because I almost lost my legs, I almost lost my hands due to diabetes and fentanyl use. And those are the things I took for granted. To encourage them, I would honestly tell them that you got to stop counting misery and learn how to count blessings and be grateful for the things that you do have in your life. Once you start having gratitude for the things that you have in your life, your perspective on life will change.